This Monday, January 29th, was supposed to be the day Calgary had ended homelessness. That deadline's obviously going to come to pass with Calgary not meeting that 10-year goal. Jason Markusoff from Macleans joining us, talking about your recent article, Jason, explaining why Calgary's failure might be a good thing. Now, before we dig into that, I just want to... So the 10-year plan, way back when they started it in 2008, in your opinion, was it way too ambitious? Were they like pie-in-the-sky dreams type thing, or...
I mean, it was, you know, for them, they thought this was doable.
Yeah.
They weren't just making this out of whole cloth. This wasn't their own invention. This was actually a plan from the States. New York City, Chicago, Seattle, Portland, all these big American cities were saying, we have this plan, it's based on a certain principle, housing first, build supports for homelessness, and actually instead of managing this ever-growing supply of homeless people, let's actually try to get them homes and get them reduced. So they had a plan on this, and it wasn't totally nuts. The thing is, none of those cities in the States got around this.
Okay.
2008 comes, the Great Recession in the States. Basically, this is sort of wiped off the map.
Yeah, okay. And Calgary now is going to be added to that list of cities that is not going to hit that mark. Why, in your opinion, is it a valuable lesson?
It's not a good thing. It's not,
Yeah.
not like everybody's saying, oh, great, we didn't solve homelessness,
Sure,
but we learned other lessons. There were some valuable impacts in this.
Okay.
This brought a lot of things together. It used to be that all these different organizations, different shelters, and different agencies that support homeless were sort of working in silos, not working as well together. The Calgary Homeless Foundation, with this plan, got a lot of money, got a lot of leverage, and they started working together. It took a while at first because everybody was thinking, who are these new guys doing this? But eventually, it worked. And so you see a lot more collaboration than you used to. And you have been seeing serious efforts, serious money from the province, who was excited by the idea of ending homelessness, this big, great target. So they have had some successes. I think homelessness in the count is down 11%. It's down more in the drop-in center. It's kind of the same nightly at the Mustard Seed and other shelters. But they have made some successes. And a lot of people say that had they not shot for the moon, we wouldn't be where we were, maybe in orbit now.
Oh, I see. Okay. Was there one thing you think that kind of stopped Calgary from hitting the 10-year target, or was it never attainable?
It was probably never really attainable unless everything was perfect. The economy was staying flat. We never saw big spikes in rental costs. There was plenty of affordable housing, not just from the province, but also the federal government. They came on only last year announcing a national housing strategy. And, had all these agencies work together from the start, had there been more private funding, you need a perfect situation, a theoretical situation to solve homelessness. We don't live in a theoretical world.
No, and the private funding, obviously, with the price of oil went in the sewer. That impacted that in a huge amount, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and again, this happened, like I said, in the States. It's happened throughout. They're relaunching plans to not end homelessness necessarily, but end maybe parts of homelessness. Just veterans or just people who were there chronically, like longer than 6 months. And they're seeing some success. And we're also seeing success in other cities in Canada. They were all inspired by Calgary, which is actually maybe one of the best things that came out of this. The people saw what Calgary was doing and said, why don't we try this? Like Calgary tried what the States was trying. Hamilton has significantly reduced its chronic homelessness. Edmonton has gotten their homeless down 43%, much higher than Calgary.
Wow.
So we are seeing some successes in the country and inspired by Calgary. So in some ways, while we didn't, reach the goal, there are a lot of things to be proud of.
A lot of things to be proud of. There you go. We'll leave it at that. This is Jason Markusoff from Macleans, of course. Jason covers anything and everything with an Alberta connection for Macleans. Macleans.ca is the best place to start to see all of your work. Thank you, Jason.